Australia's potential transfer of Tiger attack helicopters to Ukraine has sparked a complex debate that blends political pressure, military necessity, and the realities of operating a troubled weapons platform. At first glance, the offer may seem like a substantial boost to Ukraine's rotary wing strike capabilities. An advanced European attack helicopter armed with a 30mm cannon and Hellfire missiles would certainly provide new tactical options on the battlefield. Yet the deeper story, rooted in years of reliability issues, spiraling sustainment costs, and the helicopter's early retirement by multiple operators, raises important questions about whether Tiger would become an asset or a burden for Ukraine's already strained aviation infrastructure. The conversation in Australia began after Canberra faced intense public criticism for destroying its MRH-90 Taipan transport helicopters rather than transferring them abroad. The Ukrainian community in Australia, along with a broader segment of the public, saw this as a missed opportunity to support a partner at war. Seeking to offset the negative optics, the Australian government is now evaluating whether its fleet of 22 Tiger ARH helicopters, scheduled to be phased out by 2028, could instead be donated to Ukraine as a separate assistance package. This political dynamic is essential for understanding why the idea has resurfaced now, despite years of widely known issues with the Tiger program. The Tiger was originally conceived as a flagship European alternative to the American AH-64 Apache. France, Germany, Spain, and later Australia formed the core operators, investing billions of euros into a next-generation attack helicopter that promised advanced avionics, modular weapons capabilities, and high agility. On paper, Tiger had the potential to match Western competitors while offering a homegrown solution for European defense industries. In practice, however, the program struggled from the beginning. Technical defects, shortages of spare parts, and inconsistent manufacturing standards led to growing user frustration. The cost of operating the helicopter rose dramatically, while its mission availability remained low. Australia's experience is one of the clearest examples of these shortcomings. Almost immediately after receiving the helicopters, the Army encountered persistent maintenance issues, including rotor defects and chronic spare parts delays that often left large portions of the fleet grounded. These problems became so acute that Australia was forced to establish a domestic blade manufacturing capability simply to keep the aircraft flying. Ultimately, by 2021, Canberra concluded that continuing to support the Tiger fleet was economically unjustifiable and operationally risky. The decision was made to retire the helicopters early and acquire the AH-64E Apache Guardian, a platform with decades of proven combat performance and reliable global sustainment. Germany, one of the helicopter's principal designers and manufacturers, reached similar conclusions. Despite operating a much larger fleet, the Luftwaffe routinely suffered from extremely low readiness rates. At times, only about 10 out of 51 helicopters were flight-worthy. The most dramatic example came in 2019, when the entire German Tiger fleet was grounded over critical rotor problems. That even a producing nation could not maintain the helicopter to an acceptable standard illustrates the structural challenges facing the platform. If Germany and Australia struggled, a country at war and under constant logistical pressure, such as Ukraine, could face even greater difficulties integrating the aircraft. Against this backdrop, any offer to transfer Tiger helicopters should be weighed with caution. Australia's motivation, at least partially, appears aimed at relieving political pressure rather than providing a strategically transformative capability. The helicopters themselves may arrive with significant technical debt, worn airframes, inconsistent spare parts pipelines, and the need for specialized training that would absorb time and resources. From a purely logistical standpoint, Tiger is far from the ideal plug-and-play system that Ukraine typically seeks in Western aid. That said, the platform's drawbacks do not render it entirely useless in the Ukrainian context. The Tiger's 30mm GIAT cannon is a capable weapon against ground targets and could theoretically be employed to counter slow-moving drones, one of Ukraine's most pressing tactical threats. The helicopter is also compatible with AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, which Ukraine already fields and supports. This compatibility alone eliminates one of the most significant hurdles faced when receiving foreign aircraft, the need to introduce a new class of guided munitions. Additionally, the Tiger can carry unguided 70mm rockets and potentially laser-guided variants, depending on the configuration and the availability of integration kits. If the transfer includes spare parts, weapon stocks, and technical support, some degree of operational utility could be achieved, especially in limited strike or anti-drone roles. However, the broader strategic picture remains complex. Ukraine's Air Force and Army aviation are operating in a uniquely challenging environment, where platforms must withstand high sortie rates, rapid forward deployment, and exposure to enemy air defenses. Introducing a helicopter with a reputation for fragility and inconsistent readiness could strain maintenance crews and dilute resources better spent supporting more reliable systems such as Mi-24s, UH-60s, or potential future Western platforms. The risk is that Tiger helicopters might spend more time grounded than fighting, echoing the very problems that led Australia and Germany to abandon them. For Ukraine, the ideal scenario would be receiving the helicopters not as a replacement for lost opportunities like the Taipan transport fleet, but as a bonus capability accompanied by robust support, spare parts packages, and training pipelines. If delivered under these conditions, Tigers could supplement Ukraine's existing helicopter fleet in niche roles where their strengths, precision munitions, onboard sensors, and cannon fire, offer tactical value without demanding full integration into core aviation missions. Yet even under optimistic assumptions, the Tiger would not rival the combat reliability or survivability of platforms like the Apache or the upgraded Mi-28 or Mi-24 families. Ultimately, Australia's proposal reflects the broader geopolitical reality of wartime assistance. Countries often donate what they can spare rather than what is ideal. The Tiger helicopters fall squarely into this category. They are not, by global standards, a top-tier attack helicopter, nor are they free from serious operational drawbacks. But they still possess weapons, sensors, and capabilities that could help Ukraine if managed carefully and used in roles aligned with their limitations. The key lies in understanding that this is not a silver bullet solution, it is a politically driven opportunity that could offer modest battlefield benefits if Ukraine receives sufficient support to overcome the platform's inherent weaknesses.